Hi everyone, welcome to Mammoth Tales, all Aussie D&D adventure where a bunch of us weirdos try and learn Dungeons & Dragons on the spot. My name's Luke and I have 4 lovely characters with me today. Special shout out, as we were just talking pre-stream for about 10 seconds, to Degs, who is with us every single Sunday.
We love him.
We love him. He's been here from day one. He's in the chat. He's always saying random shit. We love him to bits. Some housekeeping stuff. We've got our amazing campaign coins, tokens here, still giving away. We are 1 subscriber away. We've had a total of 9 so far. We are up to our last subscriber, and once we get 10, it is a roll for winning the campaign coins. I think there's 1, 2. How many are there in there?
It's 5.
5 campaign.
5 crits and fails tokens.
Crits and fails tokens, treasure worthy of your greatest adventures. They're heavy, they're beautiful, they're lovely. Use them, win them. But if anyone has anything to say, nothing. Nothing.
I'm just excited to be here from the start today.
You're here. You're rocking that jumper, man.
Hey boy.
So let's get straight into our story, shall we?
Boy.
Welcome back to November,
Ooh.
where we left on a bit of a high note last week, but the events leading up to that were a bit more calm. You all proceeded to rally back around Anwei, who had just received some word of a town appearing somewhere north in the lake. We're not quite sure exactly where, we're not sure exactly why. And John Draff, the Owlmare, found you all and asked one last favour, along with new friend Nix, to go and check the private residences of Yanagar, dearly departed Asimar guide, essentially, who had been helping you all out in your time in South Sage. Upon arriving at Yanagar's private residence, managed to spot something somewhere. Wasn't quite sure until you got downstairs, and then all hell broke loose as anti-magic happened. Anwei tried to read a scroll and started losing her life. Some quick thinking managed to bring everyone back on board just in time for a tabaxi and 2 kenku to drop from the ceiling upon the revelation of a red stone in Damara's hand. Quickly dispatched of and wrapped up this last kenku, who started talking apparently in the same voice. The stone started reacting, it seemed, as it had been previously, to some form of good deed or some kind of positive expression. And as it started to vibrate more and more, the stone rose up out of the bag, given to you by Syrah. And that is where we left off. As the stone rose, it now rises a little bit further. And you probably may have let go of it, or just let it rise out of the bag. In front of you, because you did take it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah? So you're the closest to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In Yanagar's basement, the fire still green from your cantrip, still brightly burning green. And the red gem sort of fighting against it, creating this sort of weird mesh of colour on the walls. You've never seen the stone do this before. The stone has definitely never risen out of anything or done anything, but it's definitely emanating some kind of presence. And it sits there quite patiently, directly in front of you, just hovering in the middle of the room.
Well. This is peculiar.
Wait, did you cast Charm Person?
Maybe. I just wanted answers.
Do we still have a hostage down in the room?
Yeah, we got the kenku.
You do have a kenku tied up.
Ask him something, see if it worked.
Do you Do you know Virabeth? I think it worked too well. But what did we want to ask? Maybe I
What's his name?
What's your name? Friend?
Make a perception check.
Okay. It is a 21.
21.
Yes.
All right.
17 plus 4.
From the looks of this Kenku, he's never really going to answer you right now. He's paying attention to the gem. He doesn't really give a shit about you. And with a 21 on a closer inspection of his hands and his ties, he has broken free of his ties, but he's still sitting there with his arms behind his back.
I relay this information. Why are you still here?
I'm here for that.
Okay. I see.
And he's just looking at the gem.
Maybe if you touch it or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and move it out from its place, hovering in the air.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You reach for it and touch it quite easily, and you can move it around, no problems. As you touch it, you start to get visions, feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Big red presence, something very powerful, something almost unstoppable, being caged. And you can see something silver and something gold. And these silver and gold are swirling, moving together, sometimes joining, sometimes splitting apart, and then surrounding the red and pushing it. And it's pushing, it's pushing, it's pushing. And you can feel that same pushing now. The silver and gold disappear, and it's just this red presence pushing against the stone.
So we can't see that. That's
Nope.
all happening within.
It's just happened, just Damaris in that.
Was that a successful cast? Just for my spell slots?
Oh, you have to know, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, well,
What happened?
there is definitely some sort of energy, some sort of force that's trapped inside it. A force that's greater than most I've ever encountered before.
We don't have to be allies, we don't have to be enemies, but we have a common enemy. You don't have to trust us, we don't have to trust you, but we both want the same person gone.
That's what I like to hear. Progress. And he disappears and reappears in front of you.
Yep.
But you no longer see a Kenku.
Oh, fuck me.
You see
No.
a dark-skinned elf, long white hair. You would imagine him to look fairly old. He looks quite old. And he sort of takes you all in. Black leathers, simple weapons. Listen, if you're willing to work, if you're willing to listen, why don't we take a stroll? We'll teach you things that make your head roll.
How about you tell us here? Why should we trust you?
What choice have you got? I know what that is.
Says
What?
the man who just popped out from a complete other disguise. You are outnumbered here. We feel safe. We
Really?
follow you, we don't know where you lead us.
You see his eyes roll back into the back of his skull. And they go dark black. And the wall behind him rips open. And as he starts to lift slightly off the ground, two demonic hands grab each side of the wall
Oh no!
And
No,
you can
Richard.
see into a landscape of dust and magma. A creature far beyond any of you starts to move in, and his eyes snap back and he drops back down to the floor. You really think I'm fucking scared of you lot?
You really
You fight me
think
if you want, but I'd suggest you follow me. And he just starts walking up the stairs.
Oh wait, so we're still in the basement?
You're still in the basement, yep.
I'm going to grab the scrolls.
Yeah, so you grab which scrolls?
Grab all of them.
Okay. You grab 2 scrolls in a language that you can't read, and the one in the language of the lions that seemingly dropped you to your knees last session. Yeah.
I'm also going to grab the sword. The Tabaxi had a sword.
The Tabaxi had a rapier?
A rapier, yeah. I'm going to grab that on the way
Yep.
out as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Pick that up off the ground.
Are the other beings like still, Tabaxis and Kenkus, like they're still themselves?
They're still themselves, and they're still dead AF.
And who's got the coils, like the wire coils?
Yeah,
We've got
the
them.
wire coil.
Okay.
Good.
You've got that?
Is there anything else in the room? Can I make a perception check just before we leave? Just a real quick.
You can do
Just scan the room.
investigation or perception? What are you trying to do?
No, I want to scan the room to see if there's anything that's been
That you've
left
missed. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, go.
behind. 16.
16. Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I just make a deal with the devil?
So
Did
Did Satan just wink at me?
We
don't
don't even know that these powers are real. I mean, it's very easy to conjure an illusion that something's coming out of a wall that's opening up.
Can you do that?
do a
Give it a bit of time, I'll be able to do that.
do an arcane check. Arcana check.
Yep. That is 19.
Yeah, that wasn't an illusion. That was a very real, very powerful spell.
I don't
Your
know
patron
what
would have
this-
definitely been able to show you that was an energy that is similar to something that you conjure.
Is he waiting for us at the top of the stairs, or...?
No, he's pushed past Hayton, who is, I think, the only one now left at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, if he's gone that far, I'm.
He's walking slow. He's not
Okay.
walking fast.
Alright. I don't
Waits
think
for you
we should
outside.
let this being out of our sights.
Alright. Let's do it.
Stick very close to everyone.
I'm gonna go like... Okay. Let's go.
Okay. So, he wanders out, sees the wall, continues walking. Meanders slowly. This is definitely a creature that doesn't seem pressed for time.
Can I just say, like, on my way out from the room, that bag that I got for the gem,
Yes.
if I put the fake diamond into the bag, does it close up in the same way?
Yes, it does.
I switch them for the time being.
You switch them for the time being, and where's the real one?
In the pocket where the
Okay.
fake one was,
Excellent.
and then walk up the stairs.
Excellent. So, yeah, he continues on. You see him sort of meander through the streets. He's not trying to keep to... Actually, well, it's before you left the house.
Yep, before I...
That's fine.
Because he left.
Yep.
Everyone
Yeah.
started walking up. I was reluctant.
Is anyone aware of him? Like, are people, if he walks, do people move out of his way, or?
There's not many people on the road.
Okay.
It's a little bit darker, especially with the recent events. People have been pretty much staying away.
Yeah.
One thing you do notice, though, if you're looking around, the 3 riders that have been flying around move a bit closer to you and seem to have noticed something as you see this character in front of you hold his hand up and fire a small bolt of blue light up into the air. These 3 riders fly down and start circling around you as you walk.
Are these the Vican?
These are the Vicon.
Vicon.
Yeah, Vicon.
Were the Vicon called in by John Draff?
Yes, so John Draff would have mentioned, if you'd ever asked about it, that the Vicon essentially are there for the town's protection.
Yep.
And they've been helping essentially the town's guard that are there in this enhanced capacity, able to mobilize faster and to work out where things are a lot quicker. And they seem to be following you as he wanders through the streets, moves closer towards Trinx's forest, and enters the gates. You move through. It's quite dark, but you can smell in the forest. It's a little bit denser, a little bit maybe more lush. You're not quite sure. A little bit cleaner, yeah. As opposed to more of the decomposing smell of leaves on the ground. There's a bit less of that, and a bit more of the refreshing smell of a green leaf that may have received more sunlight, water, nutrients.
I'm going to stay at the back.
Yep. Nice. And heads, as you would know, as I guess actually no, all of you would know, towards the hut where you met Sierra.
Yeah.
And as you approach this similar site, you think, oh gosh, it's further away than I thought, or no, it's actually a lot bigger than it was before. It seems to have grown in size, now resembling pretty much like a large, maybe 2-story building, still with its sloped walls just coming down to the ground, still covered in vines. And the door's already open. And this character walks through, steps through, and sort of disappears inside. You can hear hushed voices, but other than that, not too much.
Can I ask, did he still have the scar that he had when he was a Kenku, or was he lying?
You have to ask him.
Also,
You didn't see anything. You saw armor.
Okay.
You saw brown to black leather straps around his waist.
Cool. I hate this place.
I believe this is when Hayden would say that she's sus. That's the feeling I get.
Oh gosh.
You enter.
Mm-hmm.
As you're all sort of working out whether or not you're going to go in, you actually hear behind you as the 3 very extremely huge hawk-type creatures with 3 riders land behind you. And you get a closer look at them now. Very thick feathers and very thick scale through here, underneath the eyes. Hayden's the only one who I'd probably ask about this. Nah, it's all good. And these 3 characters jump down, and you can see closely now that they're 3 Dragonborn, golden Dragonborn. Eye you up, look at you all, don't really stop moving. You can see the front, the Dragonborn shaking the front is appears to be male, very large, very well armored, and holds himself very high. Followed by a smaller male and a female with sort of some scales missing over one half of her head, and very keen eye. Takes a quick glance at you, Harkel, and then continues on into the hut.
Is there any symbols, or would I be able to recognize whereabouts they're from through my travels?
You may have heard about them. They've often... Roll a history check.
Would I have heard about him?
No.
Hiding. What is that?
And I want to see them in Iron Tranquility.
It's a 9.
9? You may actually, yeah, you roll a history check too.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Do that
dude.
thing.
You didn't see him. You were too busy
That would be
doing the
a
ship
10.
thing.
That would be a 10.
Things going on.
Dealing with that kraken in the middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're doing my time off.
You may have heard through one of the other clans making fun of or talking about 3 Dragonborn riders, golden Dragonborn riders, referred to as the mighty Clucks. They used to see them maybe on the edges of the forest. Never really went into the forest too much.
Yeah.
They always seemed to be up to something. They were usually moving at full speed and up to something. And yeah, they used to make fun of them.
What idiots.
Are they like preps?
I can trust.
Are they like preps? Like preppies?
You have to find out.
Okay. Are you preps? No. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll probably follow them in.
Yeah, so
Can I comprehend languages and read those scrolls before I go in?
You want to take some time before you go? So these guys are going in first?
Let me see how long it takes. I think it's instant. Yeah, it's instant. Can I? Yeah, I'll take some time. I'm gonna let them go in. I'm gonna quickly be like,
So how long would you like to take reading these scrolls?
just a glance.
Just a glance.
Keywords. Kind of summary.
Which ones?
The one with the lines.
Roll a d6.
3.
You lose a health point.
Again?
You lose another health point. You, as you're about to walk in,
Damn it.
turn around to see Anwei attempt to read the scroll with the lines again,
seriously?
falls to her knees and starts losing health. You lose another health point.
Can you put the circlet, this metal
lose
circlet
another health
around
point.
your neck or something like that to try and block the spell?
Can I try doing that?
If you want.
Well,
If I whack the scroll
I hear
over
that,
hand,
and
does anything
let's
happen?
just do it for her. Let's
Okay.
just try and assemble
There's
a
no
ring
health
or
point.
something.
How is she looking? Like, how are you looking?
I'm looking pretty.
She can't move, and her life is literally being pulled out of her. You lose another health point.
I dropped the scroll.
High elves are all
Yeah,
the
I
same.
kicked the scroll away.
You lose another health point.
Alright, I call out.
At this point,
into the
Sierra
hut.
comes running out of the hut, hearing the commotion. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus
I'm like-
Christ. And places a hand on your forehead. You restore to full HP, and you lose another health point. You lose another health
I
point.
call out into the hut. Hey, strange dark elf. This is probably a good time for you to show us how amazing you are.
Yes!
Did we just hear yes from that?
He doesn't come out.
Oh.
You instead see a very well-dressed yet flustered-looking kobold come out.
What?
Beautiful metal armor inlaid across her head. You can tell she looks quite old, with 2 big axes at her waist, and just clinking in health potions and random green potions and purple potions.
Is she green or red?
She is green. Oh, for fuck's sake! Comes out, grabs you, throws a potion down your throat, and just sort of shakes you, and then clamps you. Like she does not like delicately handle you. She jams your throat shut, and then just kind of shakes your head a bit to make you swallow. Fucking elves!
I know,
And
right?
then looks at you. Etuk, welcome.
Well, do I know you?
Turns around, heads back into the hut.
Do I know her?
Roll
Oh
a
God.
roll
I'm
a
gonna put the
roll a
scroll
history roll a history check with advantage.
I'm gonna put the scroll away.
7.
7. You have a feeling. You have a feeling you know someone who carries those 2 axes.
Can I make a guess? And it can be confirmed or denied.
Yeah.
Is it Ness?
Nope.
Fuck. Is it?
You guys are still outside the hut. You are recovering. You feel a lot better. That whatever she just put in your mouth, like surged through you. It was very unapologetically healing, but it was almost like it was a very raw feeling. Like it was not nurturing. It was like get the fuck back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't I hold on to those for you, so you don't get tempted again.
I just put them in my chest. I ignore him and I put them in my chest.
I go in.
You going? Okay, enters.
I follow Haka.
I'll go in as well.
Hayden
I
enters
go
with
as
you.
well.
Cool.
I
You
have
enter
to-
to see. It's a little bit bigger in here. There seems to be some more furniture. Interestingly, the furniture is all the same color as the vines and the wood. Seems to have maybe even like moved together to create new bits of furniture. And the first thing you see is the figure sat closest to a little makeshift fire in a very small chair for what creature he is, a Goliath. He's got his knees up and together. And he's
Oh,
sat,
that's so cute.
and he has a teacup which
Oh my god.
which Sierra has run back in to refill very hastily. She seems very enamored by her new.
Goliath friend.
Yeah.
Screw John Droth, am I right?
No, only you, Nix, would probably recognize this Goliath
Yeah.
as this is Krozag. You know this guy.
Wait, is he one of the 10?
He's
No, because I read about it.
You read about him?
Yeah, remember I read it in my book.
You would know what he
him
looks
too.
like, though.
Okay.
You might not. I mean, depending on like where he's been and what he's been doing, it hasn't really touched on the Iron Trunk Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just sort of sits there looking at you. He seems okay with his tea, but he's definitely like he could drink it just by licking it.
When we make eye contact, I want to try and see if he recognizes me. If he
Recognizes
knows who I am.
Why, Jordan?
Nope.
Who are you?
Okay. Hi, I'm a D&D player. Mammoth
you.
Tales.
Jordan Stack. He sees you all come in. Whoa! What a commotion! What the hell was that?
Elves.
There's a reason we keep you in the corner.
I mutter under my breath. No one puts me in the corner.
Wait, who said that?
As you scan the room, you see that this character that has led you there has moved to the side. He's kind of looking at his equipment. He doesn't want to be there. He has definitely reproached himself from this entire situation. Still the same drow elf that you saw, not making eye contact with anyone. He's staring at the floor.
Is anyone else in the room?
Yes, you see the 3 Dragonborn standing to attention. They've moved up next to Krozag.
So I want to bow my head and just as a sign of respect to him.
Gives you a nod back that probably no one else noticed but you. Just tiny little one. You see Sierra running backwards and forwards, half clearing away papers, half trying to make sure that everyone's okay. And you see this kobold in very interestingly decorative, you would note to not be anything that a kobold could usually afford. Sitting in the corner, recorking, just messing around with the stuff on her belt. Krozag looks over at this other character. Imbros. Did you find it? Yeah, they've got it, but they don't trust me with it. The purple one. He got it. Give him the stone. And Krozag puts up his hand. Sorry. He can be useful, but a life of barking. A life of exclusion can lead to a bit of an ill-tempered creature. Welcome. My name is Krozak. I have just arrived, and out of the netting, I guess, essentially, the vines and the interesting wood, you can see behind you. If you look closely, as Krozak sort of gestures behind him, you can see little fairy dragons. They've camouflaged, and they've sort of turned brown now from the color that you may have noticed them to be very bright colors. They're very slow, they're very dark colored, and they look tired. And there's about 7 or 8 of them, and they're all nesting in the wood and the vines behind Krozak. I had a journey and was brought here upon note of the stone. What do you know of it?
That many others have come here seeking it as well.
Do you believe anyone knows what it does?
I'm starting to doubt that anyone does.
Sierra. And turns to Sierra, who's... yes, of course. Yeah, he's actually been rather helpful in research. I was on the wrong path, but I've started to... Sierra. Calm. Yeah. This is a cradle. This is a house. And its origins date back centuries upon centuries. It was carried forth, apparently, by your dwarven friend. Magma, lava, the stone has the ability to affect that around it, apparently. But it is dangerous, and it is not the only one. And you see the tallest dragonborn, golden dragonborn, step forward. This is the red cradle. There are 2 more, gold and silver. My name is Roba. I protect the gold. The red was supposed to be protected, but it was not.
And who protects the silver?
That is our current predicament. We don't know where it is. It is gone. It is missing.
Who's supposed to?
She was. The silver was the lady, the strongest of the 3 Vicon. Not Vicon, sorry. Of the 3 cardinal dragons, golden dragons, and silver dragons. We look after the golden. The red was supposed to be protected. And then Krozak nods. Yes. Magnus, my friend. Dwarven of the 10. I fear he has strayed from the path. The 3 stones were powers in their own right years ago. 3 dragons. And they believed in a complex Lixium, a beautiful one. But as the races became more, him, and he looks at the red stone. Oh, you haven't got it out. The red stone, the cardinal tempest, Adamancor, became more destructive. So the gold and the silver locked him away. He would not go down willingly, so they fought a battle. Years. And he was sealed and placed in the mountain. The gold lay down willingly. His name was Lilacor, the resplendent judge. He was the best of us. But he knew that we must make our own path. And the last who sealed Adamancore and Lilacore was the lady, the silver dragon. Music's still playing, that's fine.
Who is this silver dragon?
Her name is Vivia.
Vivia.
She was Grouth's creation herself. She was life-bringer to the world.
No shit.
Yeah, shit indeed. But she did such a good job of hiding that we cannot find her. She's gone. By bringing the 3 stones together, we can bring them back to fight for us against this evil. And Syrah goes, yes, well, we now know where they're going. Apparently, the Deciduous Forest is losing its life. And she pushes aside some extra bits of paper that she's got on the table to reveal her map of Lixium, stained and destroyed beyond belief. But you can see aspects of Lixium's lands and points to the Deciduous Forest all through the forest. We have mention of black water, dead trees, no life. Everything leaves. And the Dragonborn that we have had tabs on, all are going there. We don't know why. And it appears the mists that have separated Iron Trunk Forest from its northern counterparts have rattled them so much that they just left. And Shadedra leans forward. Yes. I sent the Diamond Claws. That fucked with them. That was a Jordan moment.
All
not a
the
Nyx
big
moment.
names. Nyx is just like, holy fuck. Like, Nyx's inner monologue right now is like, the big guns are here.
The mists let us pass. Not sure about them, really. But it's okay. We're safe.
And the forces coming down from the north. Are they going to the Deciduous Forest as well?
Yeah, so Krozag looks directly at you. Everyone's going there. The council has been split, I think, for months. I don't know.
Which way does the council
Has a
split?
tiny sip of his tea.
Which way does the council split?
I know Jededra. She is with us. She just kind of whacks him on the arm. My greatest fear are the tiefling and the elf. Magnus, no one can find him, so I cannot confirm nor deny his allegiance. But at this point in time, I don't know who to trust. Which is why, even if you had the red gem, I couldn't take it with me.
Why do you fear the elf?
I don't know. These people who are turning are powered by something greater. Some force drives them. Virabeth, she has gained an ally. I don't know who. But I'm not stepping foot in those woods.
And is
Not until I know more.
Virabeth not your ally?
I wish I could ask her that myself.
So you don't know where you stand with a number of people on the 10.
That's what I'm telling you. And that's also why I'm telling you I need to be there. My meeting here needs to be brief. The people don't know. No one knows. Everyone thinks the Black Dragonborn just want more power. I can tell you that that's not as deep as it goes.
How much do you know?
I know that the weather effects that we've been experiencing, lava, water, someone's worked something out. An old friend of mine, down in Whiteprint. A gnome. Tricky, but clever. I think finding out the reason for this disturbance, the water, the weird rain, the mist, everything, I think that will give us the key.
Does this gnome have a name?
He does. Though you won't really need it to find him. Just head down and look for Tibble. Just Tibble.
What of my people?
I don't know much about them, to be honest. And I'd love to stay and ask more questions. But from what I can tell, mists have rolled out of the lake, surrounded the forest, and part, and close, and direct the flow of creatures. It seems someone up there is taking control back.
Of the forest.
Of the forest, of the lake, of the entire region. There must be a reason that the Black Dragonborn have moved through the pass and left to Deciduous Forest. He pauses then and pulls out a scroll and unfurls it and sighs and shows it to you all, and you see on the scroll the same lines that you have been very affected by.
I'm gonna read it.
Huh?
I'm not gonna read it now, but I will read it
I sort of
someday.
just put my hand out, like, Armine's like, don't you fucking
And I'm
even
like,
try.
and I smack his hand. Don't touch me.
And Sierra, standing by with a jug, kind of half sighs. Yes, I tried to read it. I had a wonderful trip, but apparently I was comatose for over an hour. Crozak. Yes, we were slightly worried. I don't know what this is, but this is a language no one here speaks.
Do I know that it's celestial?
No?
The lines weren't though, were they? Because two of the scrolls looked like celestial, and then one
Two of the scrolls are
had
celestial.
lines.
Yeah. The lines you'd never seen before.
Okay. Did your brother find you?
Who are you asking?
Kurzak.
No.
He was meant to meet us down here in
Bullhead.
South Sage.
I don't know where he's gone. I was going to use some time here, but I don't have it. And I must be back as soon as these dragons have regained their strength. So he looks over to this other character that you saw him call Imbros. Imbros, what do you think we should do with the stone? Kind of looking at the floor. I don't know. But it's a fucking disaster. I don't think they should be close to each other. If they're after the stones, which they seem to be, maybe they're trying to just move them out of the way. Maybe they know that they can work. I don't know. I don't fucking want it.
If Virabeth is so set on this stone, surely in amongst all this other power and influence she has got, she has learnt of its purpose. I mean, she wouldn't mobilize a whole entire force on a whim.
Well, I'm guessing she knows that it's a cradle, and then it contains a power far greater than her. I think she just wants to destroy it because she's following another path. Someone's telling her what to do. I know that. She couldn't unite everyone. With what? 1 against 9, the council's more powerful than that. It'd squash her. She has something else.
Not if the councils are divided, though.
Exactly.
You can't seem to keep tally on about half of them.
Well, when you gather 10 of the most powerful people in the world, it's hard to control them. But the majority are with me.
As far as you know.
Yeah. And that's why I have work to do.
So she wants this stone.
What path exactly is she following? If you think she wants to destroy it.
So far, domination. Everyone bows.
What, and you still don't know if you trust her or not?
Of course, I don't trust her. I just wish I could find out the truth before she dies.
Before Virabeth dies.
Yeah. Whatever power has her is using her. She's powerful, but I don't believe that she will be the end game for us.
So what do you want from us? Since
We want you on our side. On the side that doesn't stray to whatever so many have been lured into that forest for. You're all having very unknown origins to me. I don't know if I can trust a single one of you.
So,
If you had
Yet
this,
you do not want
Where-
the stone from us.
where is this? What do you want us to do with this? With the stone?
hide it,
Where?
keep it, run with it. I don't want to know. The less people who know, the better. But I've found that if you're trying to hide something, don't give it to the most powerful person in the room.
How do you
That's
feel
little
about
little.
this? And I'm talking to Jededra.
That's a lot of shit. I don't know. But I trust him. He's fought with me before. He's fought with us all.
Us all.
Our people. The tribe. And she sort of shakes herself off. Haven't been there for many of us, but I'm going north.
How long's it been since you've been north? Probably not very recently, I'd imagine.
No. But it's time. I'm going to hold the gap. Make sure nothing gets past.
What, just you?
They'll see me coming. The clans, they'll rally. They just want information. Safety. Fuck the Dragon Ball.
Do I know what clan she is?
Roll a history check. Make it high.
Behind.
Is there any way I can help?
17?
No, unless you personally know the Kobold clans of Eintracht Forest.
We're talking about Jededra, though, right?
How old are you? No, you wouldn't know. No. I don't think.
I have a different method. Who's your family?
Ask me later.
To Jededra?
Yes. Who's your clan? Who's going to be first to rally behind you?
They all will. They all will.
How do you know that? How long has it been since you've been in Iron Trunk?
7, 8 years. 8.
Yeah, well, who's your clan then?
Doesn't tell you.
Fucking question.
Was it Vivia?
Vivia.
Vivia? Where was she last seen?
Who are you asking?
I'm gonna ask the Goliath.
She knew the resting place of Adamancor and Lilacor, but she entrusted her resting place to herself. There are reports that say she wandered for a while, double checking, and then finally laying to rest. There is no known location. And then she points out towards Cape Thunder, which is on the very, very peak on the left-hand side. Yeah. The last information we have is her meeting with the Triton, going for a swim, walking the oceans, double-checking the water. But she could be anywhere. We do know that she locked herself away, however, because the growth she'd spread dissipated. One clue may be that each stone affects its area, and he looks down to the map and you can see him trying to picture the map in his head and find out, remember what he can from his travels across Lixium. Each stone affects its surrounding. The cradle of brilliance creates gold, silver, purple, green stones, unlike any you had ever seen. Shining, luminescent. The cradle of adamant created lava, explosions, earthquakes, anything destructive. The cradle of life for Vivia, well, I can only imagine it must be a beautiful place, wherever she is.
So the red stone's the brilliance one?
The gold stone is the cradle of brilliance.
Gold.
The red stone is the cradle of adamant. And the silver stone is the cradle of life.
Okay. That's fun. There goes the theory.
So, if everyone is going north, then our best shot with Vitterbeth is to go south.
Our best shot with Viribeth is to find out how to approach her. I believe that Tibble may have an answer to that.
And he is south?
He's in Whiteprint. He's lived there for a long time. If
What
not
else?
that,
Could always cross the sea.
We could indeed.
to where?
Ayala.
You think the cradle of life may be in Ayala?
Well, I think that it's not, so we could potentially take the redstone.
It's going to be hard to march an army there.
That's true.
Correct.
And if what they're saying is correct, then as long as Vitterbeth doesn't have the stones, that may be our best way to help our people.
See, Imbros lean back and look at you. That's the best fucking thing you've said all day. I like it. Get it as far away as you can. Do you know Ayala?
No.
I've been there once or twice.
Nice. Find a place, keep it there, stay there yourself. I don't care. So long as it's safe. Until we find the cradle of life and she can bring everyone back. The three of them together, we could march into those woods. Sierra's just been wide-eyed, occasionally looking over to her right-hand shoulder. You can see there's a quill moving in the corner, just writing everything down.
I think you better, scrap those notes there.
We don't destroy research.
This isn't research.
Imbros looks over at you. Yeah. And opens his hand, and the quill and paper burst into flames. Sierra just doesn't even run for them. She just looks at him like, oh.
What if the mighty clock's been doing this entire time?
Standing very still.
It's doing fuck all.
Doing fuck all. Yeah.
Go and grab the paper and quill as they're burning and
Yeah.
just hold them.
Well, aren't you fucking cool? Anyway, so you're doing this shit?
Where are you taking the gold stone?
And the Vicon look over to you. It is safe.
Safe like the red cradle was safe?
It is safe. Do not worry yourself about gold one.
Why, it seems quite connected to the situation we're in.
We have protected it for a long time. Long time. The first thing that happened when we saw Red Gem resurface, we go and check it and move it. It is safe. Trust us.
Do you have it here?
We would never bring it to the Red Gem. Once you have two, disaster.
So you've been protecting it about the same amount of time that the silver and red have been protected?
Forever.
Yeah, so what makes you any better than whoever's protecting the others?
We are born from justice.
Oh, this crap again.
On an inside check.
You're a lot
this
never
dude.
never
Yeah.
finish
Yeah.
talking about fucking justice.
Oh, fuck. 11.
11. What little you know of the Vicon, because they're a very long line, and what little you may know about dragon kind, golden dragons are essentially the paladins of dragons. They are
Yeah.
one and truly uncorruptible, and golden dragonborn pride themselves in the fact that they are also as uncorruptible. The only issue with that being that once they make a decision, they act on it based on their own judgment, and they don't take anyone else's word into account. They believe they know well, first off, best off, every time, and they make that decision. They're largely right, because they are, golden dragonborn are lawful good.
Yeah.
But that's just about, you don't know anything more about the Vicon, you don't know anything more about what he had just said. You just work out that you don't have to be too suspicious of this guy unless you have a specific suspicion.
Yeah.
Like unless you have something that you're very specifically suspicious about.
If I leave, is there any way for you to do something for me?
Who are you asking?
I'm gonna ask the Goliath.
Yes.
Would you be able to contact Faintamin?
Fade to moon. Oh. And he turns around, gets up off his little chair, and as he stands, his head hits the motherfucking ceiling. This guy is massive. And he reaches an arm back to one of the little fairy dragons that's starting to regain a little bit of colour, but
Is this my note?
and pulls a note out of the dragon's,
Oh.
strokes it with the back of his middle finger, and then hands you the note.
Are these Tatiana's?
They are. They're the same kind, but the ones you've seen have been very sprightly and very awake and very colourful. These ones are very dark, but they look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I? No, never mind.
So
Now, Krozag, I understand that even though you have all the power and influence that you have, you want to maintain some sort of distance from this red diamond. Now, because of this, it's probably best if we decide where we're going to take it without you knowing, so that the pressure isn't put on you. But in order for us to get any substantial distance away from here, especially if we were to try and get to Ayala, we're going to need some way of getting passage. Now I have a ship that's being held in town.
You see Sierra going, I can help. Your ship.
Yes. I need somebody who can swing their influence around and get it unlocked for me.
You have a ship?
I do indeed.
In the meantime,
I have his ship. Here. John Drath. He gave it to me to look after for you.
Thank you.
Would you like it back?
Yes.
Be a big help.
Yes, apparently some angry dwarf had it.
Yes.
Yes, well, we let him free, and he tried to get it back. I don't know what happened, but after he swam out into the ocean, he may have realized that the ship wasn't actually there, and just an illusion, and then went away somewhere. We don't know where he's gone. He's gone.
I see.
But he didn't like you. In his cell, there were some weird scratchings, and you can see some very. Well, you can't see, but she
Explains.
She explains that. Yeah, I don't want to give
It's
anything
all
away.
right. It's
I
all
don't wanna give
right.
anything away.
The hate is mutual. It's a thing we have.
Great.
But
And turns around
this is very good news about the ship.
and picks up what was not really there, pulls her hands around and materializes on one of her small desks a small bottle.
Oh, fuck.
And moves it, and you can see the water rippling in it, and an exact replica of the Shivering Timbers in the bottle.
that's so fucking
Did you
cool.
want this? I mean, it took me a long time to work out how to do this. I could show, I
I don't
mean,
think we can fit in that anymore.
Will it take you a shorter amount of time to undo it?
oh, just break the bottle.
Don't drop it.
Hands you
I drove it.
very well crafted. The bottle is a square bottle, very
Yeah.
thick glass, no cork in the end. It seems like it's open, but
Yeah.
nothing comes out when you slosh the water around. Doesn't seem to do much. If you are indeed going to look after this gem, you need all the help you can get. Do you all know how to sail?
I have limited experience, but we might.
Jededra spits on the floor
What the hell?
at the mention of sailing.
But if you are able to shrink the ship to be this size, then maybe you are able to offer us some other help that will make it easier to pilot with such a limited crew.
Yes. I mean, those scrolls I gave you before, they're simple incantations of force, but maybe how many of you can use magic?
It's just us.
Unless this
Oh.
Peyton can.
stranger.
Hayden can as well, so Hayden... Yeah, I can do that, no worries. I can't be Holly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's a fucking piece of piss, mate.
I'm a
Yeah,
bit
no, I can do
sus,
that.
though.
She's been sus this entire time.
Yeah, if you just hear it.
Okay, well, limited crew, you could just... minor spells should get you there. You're just going to need rests along the way, is all. Without hands, unfurling, furling, tipping everything around you. I mean, you wouldn't be great in a fight, but, you know, harnessing cannons is tough when there's just 5 of you.
Of
We
course.
can't hire a crew? There's not a service for these things?
Do we
There
want
is,
to?
but to be honest, last time I hired the crew, it was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made.
I also
There's
don't have the gold to pay for.
I opened my chest. I have 300 gold.
How are you carrying? How are you carrying
I
this
just,
around?
I just
I-
hold it like that.
Try and just like take a couple of pieces.
Can I not get him to do that?
Sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, sleight of hand.
You can roll sleight of hand, and you can roll a dexterity saving throw to try and close it quickly.
13.
11.
What do you reach for?
I just try and get one piece of gold out.
Too fast. Oh, you were 11.
Yeah.
Oh, you were 13. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, you managed to grab just as the lid is coming down, as you spot his...
Do I see that he grabs one?
Yeah, I hold it up after I grab it.
There you go.
I flick it back to you.
Is this all the money you have? I mean, that ship was still being repaired at the time.
We have a lot more than that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I would hope that the council would fund this endeavor, considering that we're doing that dirty work.
Imbros leans forward. Really? Yet you were staying for free at a little tavern at the back of the town.
We were indeed.
I'm an amazing performer.
Yes, and we were paying our dues in other ways.
Yeah, right.
Like carrying this stone of yours across the world.
So long as you can keep it safe. So long as you can pay your way. I've heard those docks are pretty hard to get around. Unless you have a good purpose to be there.
Thank you for your concern.
So are we getting some hired hands, or?
Crozag stands up. Are we done?
At your discretion, Luminary.
You sail across the oceans. Maybe when you find something out, you send a letter. Addressed to me. Don't give specifics. Just thumbs up, thumbs down.
How long will your dragons live for? The little messenger ones.
You're talking about the fairy dragons on the back wall?
Mm-hmm. If we were to take one out to sea with us, would that allow us to communicate easily?
That would be up to them. And turns around to look at them all, and they all kind of half notice that Crozag has talked to them. And one of the ones closer to the ground kind of stretches and ripples back and jumps down and looks up at you, shakes for a second, gets a little bit more colour and disappears. Second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and comes back and walks over to you and just kind of nods.
I nod back, respectfully.
Luminary, one last thing before you go. I was wondering if if we are going to partake in this journey, it has been stated that we may need some extra help. If you were to sign some of these blank pieces of parchment, we might be able to diplomatically get into some places that would be of use with your word backing us.
He takes a look at them for a long second, and I would hope you wouldn't be going anywhere of note with that gem still in your pocket. But if diplomacy is the way through this, I would be happy to.
Yeah, well, I just don't want to arrive at Ayala and get pulled up on the docks, and, with your signature, we might just get through, no questions.
Maybe. However, I don't do this for anyone, so maybe it will arise more questions than belay them. I would suggest you come up with cover. I will provide one letter of pardon for anything you may get into, for anything you may need to pass. But a vaguely worded letter with my name on it. There are some tricky people in this world, and Imbros looks over and goes, yeah, I could write that in a fucking second.
I don't want a letter, I just want your signature on it, Justice Springer.
You want my signature on a blank piece of paper?
We can make sure the letter is specific to our cause when we need it.
Okay, Sarah comes over. No, I can, it's fine. And tears across a piece of parchment and lays her hand across it. Very carefully mutters something. Make a perception check.
Oh. Well, my rolls from last week. That's 9.
Yeah, you don't catch what she says. And then hands it to Krozag, who signs it, looks at it for a second. Mika.
I'll read it later.
Cool. So, I'll stop in at Tibble's. You go east. Have fun. And he picks up a massive warhammer from behind him and throws it over his shoulder. Wanders out. Jededra gives you a bit of a look. Wanders out.
Before she leaves, I put a hand on her chest. Are they the Dragonborn taking us with them, or are they leaving them in the forest?
Dragonborn are going alone.
Okay.
Do you look relieved at that? It takes a long time to be free. Hopefully we can find our way. She doesn't look happy. She looks angry. And she leaves.
It's an honor to meet you, Jededra.
Then you, young one. Bit of a chuckle. Walks out. Imbros goes to leave and stops at your sign. You got potential. Here. And chucks you a small bag. Jondra found these. Actually, he kind of made these. They become in handy. Use them well.
I'll open them.
Yep.
Here in front of everyone.
Yep. Inside is a 3 what looks to be. They look like fruit, but they're small like a berry. And they're in the shape of a star. When you need to see something for its real form, take these. They're more powerful than any illusion in this world.
Thank you.
Heads out.
Hot damn.
And the Vicon all start to soldier out. The female Vicon looks down at you as she's walking. It's amazing you did that. Little scale. Come with. And she leaves out the door. Seems to be walking to her mount.
Okay.
And the larger Vicon looks at you with the shoulder bag on from Yanagar's chamber. You've still got the round flat bag.
I do.
Well, used those well. And then leaves.
No. What are
You can
they?
still identify those. You haven't tried
Oh,
yet.
okay, wonderful.
You know that. You know you haven't identified them, and you know that you can.
The Dragonborn said come with.
Yeah, the female.
I don't
So she
think
wanders
that's a
out.
good idea.
I do so very hesitantly.
She
I
goes.
follow very stealthily.
Roll a stealth check.
I watch her from the door.
24.
It's okay, you can't see her anymore.
She knows you're following.
Damn it.
Close. One off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
very close.
I don't.
She goes to what you are now guessing to be her Dragonhawk. This is Blade. And she pulls down on one of the straps, and the massive hawk with its feathers back just kind of pulls down, and there's a satchel in amongst its feathers and scales, and she opens it up and like pulls something out and looks at it, looks down at you, pulls something out again, and then pulls out a very beautiful silver encrusted axe, double-headed, with one edge which has got little spikes along it, and the other edge which is just a very round, curved blade. And looks at your axe with the big cut out of it.
I try to hide the cut.
And just hands it to you.
Whoa, what the fuck is this for?
Killing.
Huh?
Killing.
Killing?
Killing. You kill.
I fucking know that! Why are you giving it to me?
You got a weapon. It's shit. Take it.
My weapon's great, thank you.
You say it to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Ah,
Wait, no.
She goes to put it back in the satchel.
No, wait, no, don't be too fast.
She just...
No, why are you giving this? What were you looking at before?
What, as in her satchel?
Yeah.
She went through a couple of things, and she's looking at you, and you think that she was trying to find something that maybe suited your size.
What are you giving this to me for?
You're a little scale. We look after each other. Little scale have big axe. She hands it out to you again. She pulls it back a little bit. And then she gives it to you.
Did I hear it call her little scale?
Roll up a... Hang on, did you leave the tent? Because you didn't say you did.
Yeah, I did. I said I'm watching them at the door.
You're watching them at the door. She is facing you.
I got big ears.
Roll a perception... You wouldn't have heard it. Roll a perception check to see if you can read her lips.
Oh, it's shit. I got 11.
No. You don't know a thing.
Little scale.
Is it bigger than the one I had before?
It's roughly the same size, and it looks very well made. You don't know its origin. It's a craft that you're not familiar with, but looks good. Looks okay. Looks like it feels well. It feels well balanced.
I'm gonna get pulled over holding this.
It's not. It doesn't stand out too much, but it's just very well made.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's of a sort of a darkened silver iron head and a dark wooden handle, long wooden handle.
I just want to put it out there that the stick that was thrown at you about a few years ago wasn't me. It was someone else in my clan. So okay.
Yeah. You're kind of funny. And then jumps up on her Dragonhawk and, with a massive gust of air, roll a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
What is my
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, you stand side on, the air pushes past you, and all three push up into the air. They have to go fairly straight up, as there's a lot of woodland around, and they find their way out through a little hole in the canopy.
And you are not kind of funny.
And I think we'll probably have a break there, guys.
Nice.
Because that was a shit ton of exposition.
Dun dun dun!
Very cool.
Thanks, everyone.
So much knowledge.
I know, right?
Knowledge.
Knowledge! The more
Thanks,
you
guys.
know.
We will be back after our short rest. Wait.
Wait.
Hello and welcome back to Mammoth Tales. We have Grots on our stage as they try and speedily finish
I'm a little cookie
their
monster.
shortbread.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Apologies for the chewing, smacking lip sounds that you're going to be hearing over the next 20 or 30 seconds.
Rude.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace.
Our party has just had an exposition dump.
Woo!
Lots of info to write down, lots of things, lots of choices. Met with Krozag, head of or luminary of the Order of 10.
What a J.
J. Dedra, who seemed pretty annoyed to even have been there, probably wanted to continue up north without diplomacy shit. And numerous other characters have been left with a couple of plans and decided, hell, let's go to Ayala. Let's get on a ship right now and leave this place. You're all left in the hut. Sierra is calming down a bit. Doesn't have to cater to people. Seems to have been very focused on making sure that Krozag was comfortable, even though he fairly obviously wasn't. You have a fairy dragon, a fey dragon, who seems to have kind of just stuck with you. You haven't heard it speak yet. You've heard they're fairly intelligent creatures, and it seems to have disappeared somewhere and come back at the request to have a creature or someone that can help relay information. Seems to have been important enough to spend its time with you. Starts to regain a little bit more color, and is just flitting about the place. The others all quietly sleeping in the vines. It's dark. And general forest sounds happening around you. It's been a pretty long day. What would you like to do?
We're still in the hut.
In the hut, Sierra's kind of half paying attention to you and half now working on other things.
Who's still here? Is it just Sarah?
Sierra's still there. Roll a. You were paying attention. You were outside. Roll a perception check.
What's that? 12.
12. You don't know where Imbros is. He seems to have gone.
Creepy dude.
Oh gosh. Wait. Oh wait. Nope. I answered in my head. It's fine.
Perhaps we should leave post haste.
Yes, it's been a long day for me. I wouldn't mind finding a place to rest my head for the night.
Agreed.
I still have my room at the
Swinging tadpole.
swinging tadpole. If there's a vacancy,
I still have my room.
maybe you would be able to stay as well.
I might return to my quarters for this evening. Maybe we could arrange a meeting place for tomorrow.
Here?
At the entrance to the forest.
The dogs?
Suppose that would be better for me. What time?
Well,
Is it quite like early nighttime?
It's by this time,
Dark.
on all the talking you've done after being to Yanaga's cottage, it's around midnight, maybe just a bit after.
Oh, okay.
the docks are a busy place, and I know that some of my old crew is still in town. Maybe it would be better to meet somewhere nice and quiet like here. We can specify exactly by this tree here, and we meet here at what time works for people. 10 a.m., 9 a.m.
Yeah, I have a few stuff I have to do before I guess we go to another country. But yeah, at 10 I suppose.
As long as it's quiet and we can discuss things, then I'm happy.
Well, I will see you both in the morning.
Good morrow.
We're going to walk the same way, I suppose.
I'm gonna head off towards the swing temple.
Same, that's where my room is, yeah.
Yeah, the two of you walk off together.
I'm gonna head east.
You're gonna go east?
Do we walk past the ocean at all?
No. From the forest, you go directly inland.
Is there a lake?
No. There are sort of trickling streams and stuff through the forest, but there's not a lake per se.
But there are streams.
Yeah, there's small areas of water where it's obviously been very dense and the water has formed around trees and created little trickleways that seem to disperse.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you going to head, my love?
I'm going to stay right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to
It's hard.
continue building my nest. That's great, thank you. And I'm going to sleep
It's
right next to
alright.
an iron sheet. It's good for a single kobold, okay? I'm actually quite talented at making them. But it's in my proficiencies. Yeah, I'll just stay there.
Yeah, and Hayton decides, Milo's here. Milo's been staying in the forest the most of the time, so she pads off quietly in thought,
Okay.
thinking about something. There's something going on that she hasn't quite placed her finger on yet.
Yeah.
I would like to take the scenic route home and walk past the guard's house because I'm very interested in hearing about the sketches that were done in the guard's room. So I just want to go check out to see how much activity is going on around the guard's house.
Absolutely. So on approaching the guard's house, you don't approach it closely straight away, obviously keeping your eye.
Yeah.
And the first thing you would notice is there are a few more people here than in the rest of the town. It seems that the guard's house is probably being used as a rally point for the small crews that are walking the streets at night to patrol for Kenku, to patrol for this other random group of mercenaries that have been showing themselves to meet and head out from there. And there's currently a couple of parties of about five people each, just outside the guard's house.
Okay.
Just
I'm
sort
not
of chatting, very, very casual.
I'm not going to try and sneak in then. I'm
Okay.
just going to walk up and I'm going to head inside to like the reception, or I just want to speak to one of the guards.
Some of the folk gathered kind of stop and see this 3-foot Aarakocra kind of wander in. It's not the strangest thing they've seen in the last week, so they carry on.
Cool. I approach one of the guards and say, hello friend, I'm doing a little bit of investigatory work. I'm a friend and colleague of the late Yanagar, and just investigating a few leads and connections following her passing. I believe there was a dwarven captain who was detained here recently, and there was some odd, peculiar behavior happened in his cell.
Yep. So you've approached what you would guess to be the guy who's kind of organizing things. He's a halfling. He's standing on a stool behind a bench that was not made for his height. As you know from most of the things in these towns, they're made for a human standard height, and he's standing on a stool. Oh yes, he was very loud. Very loud.
Right.
We let him go eventually. He seemed to be after a ship that wasn't even here.
Yes.
One second, and he goes through very heavily bound book on his desk, and he's reading it. Oh, John Draff signed this away.
John Draff signed it himself.
Yes, he was supposed to be kept here, and then he was gone.
Is his cell currently occupied, or would I be able to have a look?
He sort of narrows his eyes. What for?
Well, in speaking with John Draff and others, I've been led to believe that there was some peculiar sketchings made on the walls of the cells that I'd like to just have a quick look at as I follow my leads.
Can you provide any proof of this? I might need to speak to John Graff. It's fine. I can talk to John Graff.
Well, it's very late at night, and I'm trying to
Roll a deception check.
make a time-pressing 13.
Hops down, and he gets a pole that's been leaning up against the wall with a hook on the end.
Oh, that's adorable.
Pulls up into a lantern, and then pulls it forward. No funny business.
Nope, you can stay with me the whole time.
And walks ahead of you. And you're led forward. There's a number of what looks to be record-keeping areas. There's small desks. No one's really working here at the moment. It seems to be more of the studious part of the day where people would be working. And you reach the end with some stone steps that sort of edge downwards. The roof is quite narrow, so you don't have to duck at all, but you see him dip the lantern a bit to head down the stairs. There's about 5 or 6 stairs into a stoned floor area with rooms off to the side. And looking left and right, you can see 4 of them. And he leads you to the back left room, and sort of motions to the door with the lantern. The door doesn't appear to be locked. It's sort of held to.
Cool. So I just go through and I just want to look at walls, floor, underneath anything, just any signs of these particular sketchings.
Yeah. So roll a perception check.
Yep.
First.
That's perception 23.
23.
Yep.
And then roll a religion check.
Religion. Oh, shit. Okay. That's 13.
13.
13.
Interesting.
Interesting.
There's random words that you can see up along above. There's a small bed. It's essentially wooden in construction, but it looks old. The wood has started to decay a bit from probably some of the water down here. It's gone black in places. And there's some small scratchings along the wall. Random words, like betrayal is one word that you would find. Some other random words in a language that, hang on.
How many languages do you speak?
Not many.
No, you would not recognize a lot of these other words. But there are some sketchings as well.
Can I-
There's some
Copy,
images.
write down the words, even if I don't understand them.
Yeah.
Copy them from sight.
Yeah. Roll a performance check.
Plus 17.
17. Yeah, you write them down as sort of best you can. You think you've gotten most of the there's from what I remember, there's little flicks off of most of the words and little dots to indicate spaces. So you write them down as easily and quickly as you can. The halfling kind of half paying attention to you, but not really fussed. Seems to have gotten enough trust with you to let you in the cell voluntarily. Yeah. The other thing that you would see would be a sketch. There are various circles of different sizes with crosses through them. And he seems to have drawn crosses and then, drawn circles, and then the crosses they've got a heavier. Yeah.
Cool. Is that all?
That's all you see. The cell would have been cleared out.
Yeah.
Everything seems pretty clean down there, and that's about all you'd find.
Thank you very much, good sir. Any of his belongings still?
Oh yes. No. Nope.
Yep.
They were taken out with him.
Yep. Very good. Thank you for your time, and I hand him 5 gold.
Much obliged. stands there and lets you leave on your own, apparently.
No one needs to know I was here.
Alright. Till someone pays me more.
Or, if John Draff himself asks, you can let him know I came by. Anybody else? Bird's the word.
The mention of his name, he kind of straightens his back a little. Absolutely. Right. Off you go.
And I retire to my dwelling.
Retire to your dwelling. You fly?
Yeah, I'll probably soar up to one of the roofs and then run along the rooftops, and then I'll just soar into my little window that I just...
Roll a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh no. That's
You're
a 2 and a 4.
Window's closed.
So,
You know when you see like a magpie trying to get in your window?
13.
The flight, effortless, up onto the rooftops,
Yeah.
darting along. You do quite well, and you're about 3/4 of the way there, and your claw trips on a tile, seems to have come loose. And as you careen over the gap between two houses, that tile falls down. You see it. You know you've made a mistake, and you also see, looking up at you, very familiar dark elf, long blonde hair shining in the light. Doesn't seem to care that you're there, but definitely saw you.
He
From
saw
what
you
you can
fuck
tell.
up. Shame.
This is not near anything that you would know of note. This is just
Yeah.
in an alleyway,
Yeah.
in
It's like
between
when
two
you're tripping
seemingly
hills and someone sees you.
innocuous houses.
I glide down to him.
To him,
Yeah.
you turn around and come back down.
I glide down to him.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good friend. I just,
Why would you call me friend? You don't know me.
I'm not into making enemies.
You're right. I've found it very easy to make friends. You look like you keep to yourself.
Well, that's, sort of the way I was raised, you could say.
I would suggest a very gentle incline on the way up the roof, and a glide down the other side. Stops you disturbing anything that might fall in your wake.
Apologies. Your thoughts on today?
The world moves. People in power. I don't care. I've found it's pretty difficult to remain away from masters and not be a slave. It's difficult when you're different. Surely you know.
I'm, beginning to learn in recent times. So what's your stake in all of this? What do you want out of it? How do you fit into this puzzle?
I wasn't lying when I said that I was held and tortured. And he reveals a flap on his armor to show you the same scar that he showed you all.
Yeah.
I don't want him in charge.
The Dragonborn?
Yeah,
Right.
and I can't fight him myself, so I'll do my best. Try and support whoever's against them. Do me a favor though. Don't fuck with that gem. It will try and learn what you're knowing. It will try and take you ways you don't want to go. You might not have a choice. Everything I've heard about him, Adamanticore, he's a fuckhead. He'll do anything to get free of that gem.
Right. And I don't suppose we could just destroy the gem?
There's only one who can.
And who's that?
When you find her, I'll let you know. But the Silver Dragon is the only one who can control all three.
Right.
But if you find another way, don't keep it to yourself.
Do you know where this silver dragon is? Justice Springer didn't seem to know.
If I knew, I wouldn't be in this alley.
Alright. Well,
Make a perception check.
$19.
You can see that he's got a rudimentary bed set up in this alleyway. It seems that you didn't see it when you were looking down, but now you've come closer. It's fairly obvious there's a bedroll behind a barrel.
Do you need a place to stay, friend?
Can I do something first? Give me a minute.
1 minute?
Stay here.
I'll wait right up there.
No, you don't move. And he starts casting a spell.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna grab one of my feathers.
Okay?
Just in case.
Keeps casting. He finishes. Yeah, you seem legit. Let's go.
Alright.
Um,
And we'll walk the rest of the way.
Yeah, he walks out, and as he continues, as you walk together through the alleyway, he enters the street proper, and as he passes the edge of the two buildings, his visage transforms into a human. Very sort of standard-looking, well-armored enough to be out on the streets at this time of night, human.
Yep.
Yeah, and continues walking.
And so do I get the sense that this is a disguise, or this is his actual true form?
I don't know if I should make you roll for this, because you're pretty perceptive. For someone like this to have maintained a disguise through what was very obviously an anti-magic chain,
Yes.
what he is doing is not magic.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Jordan's worked it out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Continues on with you.
Yeah, I take him to my residence and I sort of saying, generally just hop up there. A lady that lives on the bottom floor. She's
Before you've even finished, he's jumped up.
All right. Well, up we go. It's not very spacious. I like to keep well nested, but you take the bed, and I might sleep on the roof tonight. Perch myself on my spear.
Why are you so accommodating?
Well, like I said, I'm not into making enemies.
He reaches down and he unstraps a belt that has two fairly beautiful short swords on it. He places it down, lays back without saying anything. Closes his eyes.
Oh, I'll sleep outside the window.
Alright. You're staying in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty quiet. Feels nicer than it used to.
Mm-hmm.
Your tree that you would have been most used to,
Yeah.
it's still there.
Good.
You don't see Hayton, you don't see Milo. You hear every now and again the gentle flap of wings above you, which you can hear the Vicon is still keeping watch.
Yeah.
Beyond that, not much. It's quiet.
I'm gonna take out both of the axes and place them in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like shake it out. Like, okay, I don't know how this works. This is stupid. Is this okay if I use this? I feel like I'm doing something good, finally. Doing something that'll actually help us. And I don't feel like such an idiot doing this. Are you there?
A few moments pass. A few more. You see what you would usually call on during battle. And it's 3 very peaceful looking kobold appear in front of you. Trick of the light, sort of, they're not really fighting for you right now, so you catch maybe a few seconds glimpse of them. But all 3 of them, the two of them on either side seem to be making fun of you. They're kind of pointing at you and laughing. And the one in the middle just does that.
Do I know them? Can I recognize them?
No.
No.
But they're standing behind the new axe.
Are you proud of me?
And the visions go.
Okay. I use the new axe to take off the broken side of the old axe to make it look like a battle axe.
Yeah, it's beautifully balanced, and it cleaves through fairly easily. The middle linking to the central shaft comes apart quite easily.
Cool. And I just lay all my belongings around me, and I sleep close to the new axe.
Cool. Meanwhile, you've both returned, yeah?
While we're walking, can I say to Damara, you said we were friends.
Yes.
Why?
Well, because we have a common goal. Because I feel supported by you, regardless of how judged I feel by you. And because I think friends are worth having. Do you consider me your friend?
No. I don't trust you. Friends have trust. I don't know what you're going to do now that you have your ship. You could as easily leave us all for dead. I've been watching you. You do what you need, not what everyone needs. And I respect that in this world, but are you going to leave?
And just walk off. Keep walking. I don't answer.
I need a favor. If we are friends, perhaps we can build trust. I say that after him.
I'm not so sure we are friends anymore. I keep walking.
Mara plodding along, Iris keeping watch for the different movements in the stone to keep your feet sure. Do you stay or do you keep walking?
I walk after him and I say very quietly, I've never had a friend.
Then maybe we have more in common than you thought. I am in a very difficult, very strange position at the moment. I have everything that I wanted. Right here with me. And you're right. I mean, I could leave. I have my boat now. But after seeing the sacrifices that Willow and Yanagar made for the town, made for the people around them, it's made me question whether I'm doing the best thing for myself by living for myself. Do you think you could ever trust me after what I have done?
I have a little smile and I say,
Maybe in 2 decades.
that's a very early courtship of friendship for elves.
It isn't that long.
How old are you?
"27.
We have time.
I think it's best if I retire to my room."
I just nod and go to my room.
So you come back to a strangely quiet tavern, probably used to having you there most nights, haven't arranged for any other kind of music. Everyone's drinking. You probably notice they're a little bit lower than maybe when you were playing, but it's not really on your mind right now. Tomorrow, head upstairs to where you were staying for the night. You do the same. Separate rooms been kept for you.
So I go up to my room and I close the door behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I go over to the chest. And I open up the chest and I take the red diamond out of my pocket.
The real one, yeah?
Yep, the real one. And the fake one. And the boat in the bottle. And I set them all down in front of me. It's about 1,700 gold pieces sitting there.
And the gems?
And the gems. And as I'm holding the red gem,
Are you holding the red gem?
yep, I'm gonna pick up the real red gem.
Having the red gem in your hand, you sense the same thing.
Yep.
This red swirling energy.
Yep.
It seems quite strong. However, for some reason in this moment, you sitting there with the red gem, it's not angry. It's roll an insight check.
Pretty high. 20.
20?
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
You can sense it's almost afraid of something in the room.
I'm going to take the staff off my back.
Mm-hmm.
And still holding the gem.
Yep.
but holding the staff now in my other hand, do I sense any change in how it's feeling?
The gem doesn't react to your staff being held.
Mm.
If at all, it doesn't even contemplate it.
Yep.
But as you hold the gem, you can feel it doesn't want to be near your gems.
Yep. Put my staff back. I'm going to grab a handful of gold. I'm going to grab one of the other gems, my bottle, and I'm going to go down to put them in my pockets, and I'm going to go down to the docks.
Okay.
I'm going to sit down at the docks for a bit.
Okay.
Could I have noticed him? I haven't gone to sleep.
You haven't gone to sleep? Your rooms are near each other. He has the room closest to the stairs, so he wouldn't have gone past your room. What were you doing in these moments what would you have likely done coming back in those moments in your room?
Do I have a fireplace in my room?
There is a hearth, but it wasn't lit.
I would have lit it.
You would have lit the hearth? I would say concentrating on words in your head, concentrating on past events of the day and lighting a fire. There's pretty much no way you would have heard tomorrow leave. Especially if he was trying to make sure no one heard him.
I burned the note.
Which note?
The note I got from the dragon.
Okay, yep. Cool. Night continues. You're down by the docks. No one seems to have really bothered you.
Right, well, I'm thinking about Nix, this new person we've met, and about how I don't really know him yet, and thinking about Harkale in particular getting kicked while I was invisible and trying to protect my beloved Iris. And then thinking about Haytin and about what Anway had said. And I'm gonna go I don't know. I'm gonna still sit there. I'm not gonna make an action either way.
It's pretty cold mists have rolled in. And there's a fair amount of light. There's not a lot of places you'd be able to sit unnoticed, even though no one's really approaching you. People are trying to keep any entryway into the city fairly well lit. No one seems to approach you. Do you spend the night there?
look down at the gloves that I still have. And I remember Willow's gesture, buying me the gloves. And I sort of look out to see where the portal was that came back from, and I think of him there. And I think of the sacrifice that he made. And I say to him, hoping that he can hear, that he didn't sacrifice his life so that I could go off and live the same life that I did, make the same mistakes that I did. I look out and I say, I hope, Willow, that your sacrifice wasn't in vain. I hope I can, through my actions, make your actions worth something more. And I'm just going to pick up my stuff and go back to the...
Okay. Mara heads back in enough time to get probably a long rest in. You'd rise a little bit later, closer to about 9, knowing that you'd all agreed to meet at around 10. No one bothers to wake you though. In the tavern you were staying, and it seems Anway's been up. The day is yours. Harko, you're still in the forest. Nick's in his own abode. What would you like to do in the morning?
I would like to take the chest with me, all of my stuff, and
Are we still in the inn?
So you would have been in the inn. You would have gotten up first. It would have been up to you whether or not you tried Damara's door, went downstairs, waited.
okay.
If you left.
If she's up, then I see Anway first, and I'd like to invite her up to my room.
Okay. Yeah. Head up. It's fairly simple in there. Hasn't spent a lot of time making it too different.
Before he says anything, I'm gonna reach into my coat pocket and get a little piece of paper that I have tucked in there. And I'm gonna just...
Yeah.
Don't read it. That's something that's special to me. We need to work on trust, so I'm going to trust you with that. And maybe we could, in 2 decades' time, initiate some sort of friendship with trust.
Well, if trust is what we're going for, then I should probably show you what's in here. And I open up the chest.
What do I see?
You see... Did you leave the red gem in the chest?
The fake red gem is in the chest.
So you see a fake red gem. You see a number of gold pieces that line the bottom of the chest. You couldn't really tell because of what's on top, which is a number of quite illustrious, shining, otherworldly gemstones. They're nothing like you've ever seen before. Just looking at them, you're reminded of the crossing. You're reminded of the internal workings of your people. And you can't really put a finger on anything like this. But they're there. Tamara has them. And there's quite a few of them.
Where did you get these?
This is what I was betrayed for. This is what I almost lost my life for. From Paradise Isle. Here. And I'm going to take one of the gems and like as much gold as I can get in 2 hands. If we're working on trust, this is for you.
Is it a lot?
A handful of gems? Yeah, you could. A handful of gold. It's quite a lot. You could probably fit around 500 to 600 gold pieces just in one huge clumped handful. If you've definitely tried to scoop, you've not done him the dirty and
Nope.
and done the Ben and Jerry's, just a little scoop of ice
I
cream.
want to
You've got the
imagine that
massive
he has
scoop.
huge hands and I have smaller hands, and it's like
Spill out.
You do have more dainty hands, and they're not used to being handed so many things at a time. So
what have you dropped? Sorry.
he does have very weathered hands that have obviously seen the riggings of a ship a lot more than you have.
Do you want to keep all that for yourself? Will you sell it? What about the others?
Well,
I mean,
I can't make a decision to trust one of you without trusting the lot of you guys are.
I won't tell anyone.
Look, I've lived a life for myself for many years. And it has never brought me anything but pain and struggle. Even when I finally acquired all of this, to have it on my own was only more pain than it originally was. Friendship may not be something that I know, but it is something that I would like to learn. And if this is a first step, I would like to take it. I'm gonna close up the chest. I will see you at the forest.
I will get my things.
And I'm gonna
Go get my
start
things.
making my way with the chest and everything to the forest.
Awkwardly nod and go to get my things.
Yeah, so you gather up your chest, the bag, the flat bag, all of your things. Head on down there.
I need a bag of holding, guys.
Okay,
Sell that.
you awaken. Probably been snoring during the night. It's a pretty long day. You've made a little dirt divot where your nose has been breathing into the dirt. Get up and wipe it all off your snout. Waddle over. Nyx. You get up, down from the roof. Apparently this character's left at some point. I'll give you... Oh yeah, he's gone. And you don't know when. To meet at the entrance of the forest. And we'll leave it there. Jesus. Nice work, guys. Is that your response to today? It's better than you're a bitch.
You bitch. What a day.
Thanks everyone. We have navigated enough information to give these guys a little bit to do. Apparently there's a plan. We didn't lose anyone.
Oh yeah, there's always a plan.
Thank Christ we don't have to start streaming on
definitely a
Tuesday
plan.
nights again to do Damara's separate voyage. But yeah,
Oh, mess.
we'll see you same time again, 12:30 p.m. AEST, here on Twitch TV. Bye.
Goodbye.
See you guys.